When it comes to automotive journalism, I'm certainly no Chris Harris. I can't push the limits of a GT3 Cup car on the track. I'm no Tiff Needell because I can't tell a novel while parasliding an all-wheel drive car. And I'm not as funny as Jeremy Clarkson. But what I can do is give you all the facts and figures of the new Audi A8. Today on FLD Tours. Now before we even get driving this car, there's a lot you need to know. Well, first off, when I saw this car, when it was revealed last year in Miami, last November before the LA Auto Show, I was down there with a lot of journalists, and the initial impression was, that's it? It wasn't until journalists started getting in the car that they realized there's a lot to learn. You know, in 2005, Audi made a promise to themselves that they will become the world luxury car market leader. They've successfully hit Asia and Europe. America is the one they haven't hit yet. They want to sell 100,000 units a year in this country. That's 1.5 million units by 2015. It's a lot of cars. And this, the A8, is how they're going to do that. Why? Well, because this is the same platform. This aluminum space frame is what they're going to use in the A7 and even the A6. When I say the Audi A8 is going to be the benchmark for all future Audi products over the coming 5 years, I mean it. Obviously, we've got styling cues like the big mouth grille, which has been around for quite some time, but Audi stuck with it. So what can we see from the A8 that will determine the future style of all Audi products? Well, obviously the LED lights, which was introduced with the R8, is now becoming a more prominent feature. But more importantly, we've got the shoulder line. We see it on the A7. I think this shoulder line down here is going to become much more important in the way Audis are designed and styled. We also have the aluminum space frame. Obviously the A8 is actually the same platform as the A7. So even before we drive this car in this review, I'm going to tell you as much as I can because it's very important if you care about the Audi brand and you care about the automotive industry. Pricing for the base A8, $78,000. If you want 5 more inches in the back, $84,000. One of the biggest problems with modern cars is weight. Audi did make this car a little bit bigger. Even though it looks like the old generation, it is a little bit bigger. But they kept the weight down thanks to the 3rd generation of the aluminum space frame. It's 25% more rigid than the outgoing generation. That means this car is lighter than the 7 Series and lighter than the Mercedes S-Class. Again, when I was in Miami, a lot of people complained about not only the styling, but also the fact that there's the same power plant in this car as the outgoing generation, the 4.2-liter V8. 372 horsepower, you get to 60 in about 5.7 seconds, and it's made it to a new 8-speed automatic transmission. That combination of an 8-speed automatic transmission and the 4.2-liter V8, 17% better fuel economy than the outgoing A8. Better fuel economy, a 21 mile per gallon average EPA rated, than the S-Class Hybrid and the 7 Series Hybrid. The new Audi A8 also has Audi Presense. What does that mean? Well, there's a 1,000-foot infrared camera up front so that if it senses danger ahead of you, or if it sees a pedestrian walk in front of you, it preloads the brakes, gets them right near the rotors, as well as firms up the front suspension. And if it really thinks you're going to hit it, it will brake for you. Here are a few fun facts that will impress your girlfriend. Audi was the first automotive company to work with Bang & Olufsen. Bang & Olufsen has been around for about 85 years, and they produce some of the best sound systems out there. The heart of the Audi A8 comes down to the new MMI Touch and the new MMI system. I can either control the MMI here on the normal display, or I can control it in the heads-up display through the steering wheel. So instead of having to scroll around, pick a letter, spell out a name, you can just type it in with your fingers. So I want to go to Hoboken. H-O-B. You get the idea. This gear shift, you don't notice it when you look at photos. You don't really notice it when you're in the car until you start using these systems. This gear shift is designed to help your wrist so that you don't tire out your wrist by scrolling through the menu. You can rest it on this gear shift and do everything. When you dive deeper into MMI, you will find you can pretty much control every surface of this car, from the exterior lighting to the interior lighting to the massage on your back to, well, also navigation. Now that's where things get interesting. Audi is the first company in the industry to introduce Google Earth as the navigation system. So not only can you type in local establishments, but you can also just type in, I want a birthday card, or I want pizza. And through Google, it will find you those addresses. Not only that, it will also give you up-to-date fuel prices in the area, and even cooler, you can get weather, traffic updates, and your favorite RSS feeds. Now that's badass. And one of the last cool features I have to mention is this car is a Wi-Fi hotspot. So if you've got an iPad or if you've got a laptop, it's using cell service to get information off Google. You can also get information on your laptop in your passenger seat, and you don't have to pay for an additional service because it just is a Wi-Fi hotspot. So now that you know all your fun facts about the Audi A8, how's it drive? Well, I've never taken it on the track, I'll tell you that right now, but around the city, or around the highway, it feels pretty much exactly like the old generation A8. You can go into the MMI and you can change the suspension settings, you can change the transmission settings, engine settings, ride height. You can pretty much make this car whatever you want it to be. Outside of that, it feels like an old generation A8, and that's not a bad thing. It rode well, it was firm on the highway, it felt solid. You can make it stiff if you really want to have fun with it. You can make it soft if you just want to go around the city. But to me, this car is more about the detail. Audi really paid attention to the detail. That's what matters. That's what makes this car that much better than the outgoing generation. With that said, I think that's it. This has been FL Detours with the new Audi A8. I know not much of a driving review because, well, this car really is about the details, and that's what you need to know about.